This interview is with Pam Hook, and she has been an esthetician for over 20 years. She runs MedSpa Distributors, and you're going to love her. She teaches me a hack with the Clareblend Mini with two Clareblends that I didn't even know how to do. So enjoy. So I'm here with Pam Huck, and she is the proud owner of MedSpa Distributors.biz. I like how you have that there, even though it has my name. I buy all my minis from Pam at MedSpa Distributors, and they run a tight ship. She's based in Atlanta. And what people may not know about Pam is she's been an esthetician for 20 years. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into this distribution business and a little bit of your back history?
You know how things in life change and different stages of your life. Well, I wound up in North Carolina. My husband was in the military, and we wound up in North Carolina after he retired. And I was working for a computer teaching, and I taught computer classes. Well, it just so happens that his wife is a doctor, and she wanted her own women's view facility. And she asked if I'd come work for her she wanted to set up a library so people could just check out books and on natural health care and things of that sort. So that was her dream. So I fell into it backwards. I wound up being her spa director. One of the besties was pregnant and she wanted to come back. So at that time, there wasn't really even a school in North Carolina to go to. So I went to Hammond, Louisiana to an Aveda school. I'm aging myself, right? And then they
Great school.
licensing in North Carolina. So I was one of the first ones to get my license in North Carolina for aesthetics. But she wound up coming back, and then I had a full book. I was booked up for 3 to 4 months in advance, and she was the only one to come back part-time. So I was doing full-time of the spa directing, full-time aesthetics, and it's like, I need to So my husband at that time, he was doing a lot of traveling with his job, and the kids now had started going to college. And so the person that actually has the diamond tone equipment, he was one of the distributors for it. He says, how have you thought about coming to work for me? And I'm like, I'm not a salesperson. So, I really don't, because no, I want you for the education and training. I'm like, okay, fine. So I wound up being the vice president of his company. And then time went on. Daughter's now out of college, and there was an opportunity to said the Diamond Tone said, do you want your own distributorship? So that's how I fell into being a distributor.
Oh, cool.
And I feel as long as Andrea could help me, she had her business degree by then, and I'm like, I'm not the one that wants to sit behind the desk and do the reconciling and all that. She handled that when we first started. And then I went out and did the education and training on the Diamond Tone. And then the calls start coming in as years go by of, what about my equipment? Will you distribute it? And that sort of thing. So we're really picky about what we distribute. It doesn't mean that there's another great products that we don't distribute, but for some reason, maybe they have territories, and we like to be able to sell anywhere in the United States. So it was just easier for us. We go through this procedure. We tell them, you got to go through 3 months of testing with us before we actually bring anything on. And they're kind of weed out some things and we like, and things that work together, like the Neogenesis line. I know you love it too. So they can coincide with the equipment that we had, and microcurrent wound up being Diamond Tone, and then Genes microcurrent, the microcurrent machine. Then that's when the SD started asking us, it's like, well, what about a home device? Because for microcurrent, you want to maintain it, and they can't always get in every time to see you. So that was the whole positioning of the Mini, was for that. And then, as you know, it kind of grew.
Well, it's a great little machine. It's a great device. So refresh my memory. Tell me all the lines that you carry.
We carry Victoria Deanne, Neogenesis, Expertise, SRS, which is a very small line, and they only have 4 products, but they are great 4 products. And then we carry Belmondo mask.
Okay.
And then, of course, the microcurrent machines and the Diamond Tone machines.
What's SRS? I've not heard of that.
It's Skin Recovery Science, and they have those little ampules. You've probably seen little heart-shaped ampules. Those are the lipids. So they're great after like microdermabrasion or people that are dry, put the lipid back into your skin. They
Gotcha.
have C2S, which is 2 types of vitamin C and salicylic. And that has been by far always one of our most popular items. So we sell quite a bit of the C2S because it hits mature skin, but also the acne, oily skin type too. So you've got the 2 different types of C, one that penetrates in more, one that's more topical. So that's why there's the 2 C's. So it's C2S, S for salicylic.
Oh, I gotta try that.
I'll get you some to try. You'll love it. So
I'm excited. But you worked behind the chair for a while. I mean, you were doing so, but you've always had the business mind because you guys are always crazy busy. I mean, maybe things have slowed down right now, but you guys run a tight ship. You are doing something right over there.
It's a family thing. And like I said, so after my daughter and I started it, then her life took her, she was married and she moved to Guam. Well, that's my grandson was in Guam. And so basically it took her where her day was my night. So she's like, Mom, I can't do the business, right now. I just can't.
Yeah.
Understand. Then she moved to England. And then finally she's come back. But when Stephanie, which is my daughter-in-law, when I first met her, she was obviously just dating my son. And her actual degree is in criminal justice. But now, when you have a little bit of acne, but I probably shouldn't tell this because it's going to go over everywhere. Please forgive me. She had a little bit of acne. And so I was waiting for her to say, hey, can you do anything about this? Because, this is future.
Of course.
All right. So she says to me that, and I'm like, yep, I can get it all cleared up for you. I know exactly what I want you to do, this, this, and this. Well, that started her passion for it. So she became
that's cool.
an esthetician also. And she wound up taking over Andrea's position when Andrea moved to overseas. Then, like I said, now years have gone, and years just go by so quickly, don't they? But so then she wound up coming back, and I thought, now Andrea has a master's degree, and I'm like, she's not going to want to come back and work with Mama anymore. She's probably outgrown Mama, right? But she's like, you kind of need to start online presence more, and you starting to need to do more social media. Because back in the day, when you were a distributor, basically you were in the trade magazines and things of that sort, and you maybe sent postcards out to I never really liked doing cold calling. So it was like, no, because, being an esthetician too, from the other side, it's like, no one wants you to come knocking on their door. And it was just word of mouth, and the business grew and grew and grew. Well, then when she came on, she's like, I'm like, I don't know, because I don't want the consumer in with us because, there's the different levels, right? So I said, it's got to be password protected and this and that. And she's like, okay, I'll set all that up for you. So that's when we went into the new world of life, so to speak, when social media became so important and being on web and having your online presence. And
she pushed you guys forward. She modernized you guys. I noticed some new things, like I noticed you can order on your website now and all sorts of cool stuff. I don't do much of the ordering anymore, but I'm really grateful for the automation. Your daughter, thank you.
Cool. They know us so well. They send us an email, and we're like, okay, and they email Stephanie, and then they email back and forth together, and that's done. So we don't have.
That's cool. I did not know that Stephanie was an esthetician too. That's cool. I love that. I mean, I think that's so important when you're dealing with these kind of products, but I still see it all the time where people don't have any skin background. They're working in as distributor, and you're like, what? That's weird. But I see it.
We wanted everybody to feel like we could understand their point of view. It's
right.
Not trying to sell you something. So, but you can call, like if you got a problem, you can call and ask us. And sometimes, honestly, we even recommend things that we don't have. It's just something, whatever fits the situation best for that person.
Yeah, I agree. We can't be everything to everybody.
No. So, but we do, we enjoy it. We have a great time, and we get to see a lot of people. A lot of times we still do conventions and things too, but
I was going to say, you don't give yourself enough credit because doing even one, you were in Chicago, right? Was the Chicago show? That is a beast of a show.
I was in
I was
Chicago.
like,
I do the Las Vegas every year because that's
oh, wow. That's a beast of a show.
Vegas. So, but we do about 12 trade shows a year. Now,
Wow, I didn't know
maybe a
that.
little strange, but and we're also doing some smaller. I would call them just more of a workshop. And the plan was, until obviously our new life, was to do basically one East Coast, West Coast, and in the middle each year. So then that way, those that are always, we get a chance, they can get together and kind of more of a fun party. But
Mhm.
manufacturers will come to, and we do webinars with our manufacturers. We've actually started that series before, our life changed. And so, because I feel like as Estes, we kind of want to know the manufacturer too. So
It's important.
Stephen
Yeah.
will do webinars with us too, and then we tape them so people can see them later.
So you are, I mean, for people who don't know, you, and you can see the picture of the Mini there, MedSpa Distributors, and Pam, she is I buy all my minis from her. And
Never leave
can
home.
you talk a little bit more about, ooh, what color's that?
Pretty.
I haven't seen that color.
Pretty. Yes. So this is the new
Pretty.
one, Ruby, and the amethyst are the newest ones.
Oh, pretty.
I don't know if you've seen the amethyst yet. Have you? It's purple.
I think
That
so.
came back. The black.
Maybe just in the picture. Pretty, little pink.
The pink.
I think I have an amethyst one here for sale in my studio. Oh yes, I love that. That's gorgeous.
Yep. That one goes
One of my favorite colors.
Yes. So, but then we have the red, and then obviously the platinum with the silver is
That's like the demon one.
that's
demon. I love it.
Naughty and rich.
So can you talk a little bit about microcurrent and how that has become so popular and why you think that is?
Sure. It's been around since the 1800s, believe it or not, doing microcurrent in some electrical form in microcurrent. But then in 1980 is when FDA cleared the first ones to be able to do, and they called it electric massaging. So actually the patent is under an electrical massager. And that's because in the 1980s, that was the only category they could figure out to put it in, so
right.
Like when they did LED originally, they put it in with lasers and we had to fight that to get it out of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's been around for a long time. And Bell's palsy, that's when they first started kind of getting into it with the doctors using it, was for Bell's palsy. And then they were discovering, well, you know what, the skin's looking better, things of that sort. That's when they realized it was the microcurrent. And then microcurrent got into being something good for the healthy skin. So all I can see is now is the future. It's even going to become more and more popular because it's so easy to use. It mimics the current in our body because you're using a square rectangular form. So you're not overstimulating. Sometimes like a TENS machine, it's used for a different purpose because it's breaking down a tight muscle or something of that sort. So it's actually more healing because of the actual current. So all I can see is just going to continue to take and get more and more people are going to be.
So what's impressed you the most about the Clareblend Mini device?
I think it's because it's easy to use. We wanted it so simple that the consumer didn't have to worry about it. It's basically put it on the skin, it's going to beep, and I can actually make this one beep if I turn it on. So it beeps to tell you it's working. Current is going, so you can put it on the skin, you bring it up, and you hold it until it double beeps. And it's a 10-second timing. Now, I know on some of your videos, and it's perfectly fine, you go a little bit faster. That's okay, as long as they understand that the beeps may be sporadic because of the fact that it's not going.
Oh, yeah. See, I did not know that was happening, but it makes total sense. So yes, always go with the beeps.
If you don't, just ignore the beeps then, because the current is running. So as long as you hear that initial beep at the beginning, and then you can, it's going back and forth, and it goes back and forth between the two. So it's certainly, if you do go a little bit faster, it's not a bad thing. It's just ignore the beeps then, because it's going to be all messed up because it doesn't finish its cycle. So
right. right. So it interrupts that. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that for the longest time. And I'm like, oh, but yeah, if the beeps are wigging out on you, it's fine. It's still working. It's basically, if it's plugged in, it's on. And
as long as they plug it in and you hear that first little, I call it a chirp, and you hear that little chirp when you first plug it in, and then you know it's working. So you can
yeah. And those are when we can travel again, those are so easy to travel with. Exactly. They're just convenient, you know, and then it's a simple routine. It's easy.
It comes with a power wall plug, but I just like it as a USB because I can put it in my computer. And so I'm checking emails. I just have to I can hit a few spots. I do not do my whole face, but it's like, okay, that brow's looking a little bit lower than the other one.
Yeah.
I need to fix that a little bit. In the car, if you're a passenger, not if you're driving. But
yeah.
There's so many times that I can use it. And it's very lightweight because there's no battery. So I don't have to worry about charging a battery, doing anything of that sort. But I will tell you, like a lot of people ask me a lot of times, it's like, but I'm limited of where I can go then. I just use like those little portable batteries.
Yeah.
Stick it in my pocket.
I love these. And you can't get the real fancy ones. You have to get the cheapo ones from Walmart because the fancier ones won't even work. Do you know that?
Yeah.
It has like if it has any buttons on it at all, for some reason it turns off. But this is like that On brand. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It is at Walmart. It's like $5 at Walmart. So
you just want the 5-volt types, or I know Kathy has it on you guys' website, which is the right voltage for it too. So
yeah. And a lot of times, if I've got 2 minis going on somebody in the treatment room, which it's a hack I use. I love it. And I'll if I don't feel like getting out my big machine, I'll just do people's face with 2. It's so nice to have 2. Cuts your treatment time in half, and I have it plugged into 2 of those things so that I'm not getting the wires. I have 2 of those little battery packs so I don't have to worry about
one in each pocket, and there you go.
Just keep those charged. You want to make sure you don't, but they're great. It's great.
Keep in mind too, a lot of people have been asking me, it's like they'll cross out, somebody's got it, I guess, over social media. It's like, you can't use 2. And I'm like, yeah, you can, because the current's going between here and here and here.
Yeah.
So it's okay. They're far enough apart. You're good to do 2 at a time. It's fine.
Electricity always follows the path of least resistance. So it's not going to jump across your face. And it's just not. It's going to go to the closest electrode to complete the circuit. Yeah, it's not gonna.
Even if you wanted to, if you had both labels up, you can take and do it this way.
You think it would jump?
It goes, if you've got labels up so that both the labels are up, so not this way.
Okay.
But this way, it can go from this way and this way.
Oh, that's cool. I love it.
But
this is a new hack. I love it.
Labels are both the same direction. So because then
I didn't know that. Oh, I love it. So you can take it and sandwich your cheek there. Oh, I love it. Ooh, I'm gonna do that when we get off here.
So that just labels up or labels down, not the opposite way. Okay.
Oh, how cool. I did that to my mother-in-law, and I did have them sandwiched the right way. So oh, cool. I was doing it right. And look, I find these things out without even knowing.
You were doing it right, I'm sure.
She got big cheeks to lift. But so will you guys be releasing any additional training around the Mini? So education for the consumer, that sort of thing?
We will. We really like the Estes doing it because one, it's more personal to your client rather than just me from the company. But if you want to take in, we will make a few more. We have put on there like troubleshooting now on the clareblendmini.com site so that they can just check if they're concerned, is it working or not. But we can put a few more just how-tos on there too, if everybody wants us to.
Yeah. But there are a lot of estheticians that are doing little tutorials now. I've seen True Grace Skincare on YouTube. Grace, I think her last name's Gutierrez. She's out on the West Coast. Love her. She has some really clever routines. I saw the Art of Skincare. Lady has some of hers. So I have a whole tutorial. It's 10 days. That's a playlist I have. So a lot of us are doing tutorials, and it's fun to watch because everybody has little ideas. you know, like what you just showed me. I'm like,
Yes,
oh,
yes,
how cool.
yes, yes. And like I said, there's not really a wrong method. Not really. I mean, you know, we don't want to push
You don't
it.
want to drag it down.
Yeah, we don't want to go down on the skin. But other than that, there's really not a wrong message for it. So
Yeah.
I like watching some of them because, like, yeah, Grace has a little technique that she's been playing around with the little cotton at the end. And,
Yeah, I saw that.
you know, and it works. I asked the engineer, is this okay? Does it work? And he's like, yep, that's what they want to do. That's fine. You know, that works. So
Yeah.
So it's fun though to see, like you did a 14-day challenge, I think, one time.
Yeah, it was 12, and it was a lot.
Okay.
I've done a couple of those. But yeah, I've got a playlist with me going through that routine every day. And it's a really short routine, but I still got great results after 12 days.
And you can add it like with other things that you have too. And that's another thing is I call them different modalities, but you can change and add a different modality with it. So, you know, you can do microcurrent with your LED. You could do microcurrent with.
You be doing this.
Yeah.
Multitasking. You should see me when I do a facial. I mean, it's at least 5 modalities. I'm like, it's a marathon facial. Really.
No, I think it's great. That's nowadays that we're doing more than one thing at a time, but we're hitting it from different directions. So that all works together. I mean,
yeah, it's a good time to be aging. If you have to age, now's a great time.
It really is. I mean, think of the daughters are in their 30s, right? You know, that's like all the things that they've had the benefit of. Back in my day, it was like, oh, we just want to, you know, go out and tan more and realize, oh, that's not good.
Oh, do you remember? So you've had you've had your license 20 years?
Over 20 years. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So do you remember what we had we've been licensed the same amount of time. Well, maybe you longer. Do you remember it was microdermabrasion and glycolic acid?
Right.
That was it.
Right. Exactly.
That was it.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. I mean, it was,
you know, then we like,
you had to figure it out.
I itself for a long time, probably not the best for your skin. It causes, you know, so I tell Estes, you know, it's always fun to read the white page studies. So like for glycolic, you can go to Google Scholar. You don't want to just to Google. Google Scholar gives you the white page studies that you can see that everybody's done on things. So you can look up, you know, microcurrent, you can look up glycolic and talks about how it creates paper thin skin. And, you know, it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So you really get
angry, upset, paper thin skin.
Yes.
I don't even use it anymore. I mean, it used to be, that was it. That's all you had. But now, thank goodness, the skincare field is vast and wide. So.
Oh, and the stem cells. That's a whole, you and I both love neogenesis. So, I mean, but that's a whole nother field right there.
I was going to say, your skin looks really good. I mean, even through Zoom, it looks so good. It's this clarity. It's something about using neogenesis on a regular basis gives your skin this pillowy clarity. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know how to describe it, but it changes the skin.
Yeah, my mom's in her 90s, and we're going to actually do a generation facial video coming up in the future. So I'm going to get Mom to do it. We just won't tell her it's going to be on the internet, you know, because
she'll never know.
You know, she'll never know. You know, that wicked thing, you know. So she's in her 90s, and so we're going to do her, myself, and then Andrea and Stephanie. So we're going to do a generational one, and then she though cannot live without her recovery. I mean, she buys the back bar size, and you know, and it's like she doesn't care. She's pretty frugal with her money, but that's one thing she's like, nope, I gotta have that product, and she really does. It really has kept her skin looking really good. And so it's like, I got my recovery. I can go without anything else but my recovery.
Yeah, it is great product.
Underneath the microcurrent. A lot, that and the skin serum.
Yes.
So I'll put it down, then put a little bit of conductive gel on, and then use the microcurrent over it. I just love that combination.
Yeah, it really wakes the skin up. Skin looks gorgeous after that. Well, Pam, thank you for your time. I don't know if you have any parting words for you, but Well, I mean, I was gonna say, how would an esthetician find you if she were interested in any of these lines that you carry? But you've got it right there on your green screen.
Other side, that one over there.
Yes. So yeah, MedSpaDistributors.com, right?
You can do .com or .biz.
.biz. Okay, I can't see that. I'm looking.
Biz or com, either one leads you to the same spot. They would have to submit their license because again,
Yes.
we want to push the business to you. So like if a consumer calls and they're looking for a mini, we take and ask them a lot of times, where are they located?
Right.
And if we can find an SD that sells them, we try to send them to that one.
Yeah, I love that about you guys. You're really good about that, because people will be sneaky and they'll be like, oh, my sister's an esthetician. You're like, no.
Oh, we've had psychologists. We've had some of the other ones are like the psychologist and the psychiatrist. We've had both of those. And I'm like, I bet you're not really doing skincare in your practice. But I'm a professional.
You're my therapist for a facial.
But we feel like we are sometimes, I'm sure. But, you know,
Yeah.
might be a good combo. But it's like,
Yeah.
I don't think you do. But they will. Music teacher, when we say not a professional, but we mean skincare professional, that you actually,
Yeah.
because we want it to go through you guys. That was the whole reason for this. We're not selling it on Amazon. We don't sell it anywhere except through skincare professionals. And we want you to be able to make sure they don't have contraindications. We want to make sure that they know how to use it.
Yeah.
And it's a partnership, we feel like. Everybody benefits from it. And we try to, keep it at a level pricing for everybody. So then that way that it's fair to everybody out there. So, but
because by the way, you can't buy this on Amazon. This is only available. The mini is only sold to estheticians.
Correct.
Not allowed to be sold on Amazon.
That is correct. Yes. And so that's what we try to do, is we try to send them back to you. But if they do come to our site and they're a licensed skincare professional, not any other professional, skincare professional, then we'll take, and they've got to send in their criteria. And then basically behind the scenes, that person is Andrea. She looks them up, because everyone you can basically go online and look up, and to verify that their credentials are who they are.
Right, and that they're current.
Then they're allowed to set up a password to get onto the site. So that's why you won't see us like at the top of like Google list or anything like that, because honestly, I don't want everybody there. I want care professionals to be able to find us. So,
right.
Because otherwise, like I said, and we've gotten some that just got really angry because we would not sell to them, but we're like, no. If you call us and say, how much is the Clareblend Mini? We're going to tell you it's $329 retail. And they go, but I'm a professional. Okay, send us your information. I'm sorry, but we need you to send this. And it's for the SD's protection. Most, I'd say 99% get that we're just really trying to do it for their benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Pam, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it was really nice getting to know you a little better. I feel like I hardly ever talk to you anymore, but I miss you. Are you going to the Chicago show? You think it's even going to happen? It's not going to happen.
It's not happening. It's already been canceled. Yeah.
I didn't get an email.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time. If you're an esthetician, you're interested in selling the mini or even using it as a starter, if you've never done it, getting used to microcurrent, Pam's your gal, MedSpaDistributors.com. And thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.